Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game. So today I got a very fun and very exciting episode for you guys this evening because we're going to be playing Nightmare Kart, a recently released kart racing game that basically takes place in the world of Bloodborne. This was made by Botster, more famously known for doing the PlayStation 1 version of Bloodborne, and when I say for a free game, this thing is absolutely outstanding and pretty much blew me away. I 100% mean it. This is a love letter to both kart racing games and Bloodborne at the same time, and while that is a combination that on paper sounds a little bit strange, in execution it is 100% works. Before we get too far involved though, do me a huge favor, go down below, hit like and subscribe, and ring that notification bell, definitely helps us out. And if you feel so inclined to want to support the channel, I got a Patreon link down below as well. But I saw this on Twitter. I popped over to Steam. It is a free download, and I figured I'll give it a shot just for fun. Maybe I'll make a video, maybe I won't. I was mostly just curious about what a kart racing game in the Bloodborne universe would be like. I probably played this thing for 2 hours straight, absolutely fell in love with it. It did everything right in my opinion, and I just think that this is one of the most fun games I've played in 2024 so far. Now obviously if you played one kart race, you're going to immediately understand how this works. It is very Mario Kart-esque as far as the drifting, the overall power-ups are concerned, the boost gauge. You can definitely pick up and play this thing within like 2 minutes. But the wild part is just how charming, just how unique, and just how vibey this game actually is. It does just look like an upscaled PlayStation 1 game that you threw into Duck Station, and there's a ton of different visual effects. Every single course has a very fun intro, and there's also a full campaign mode as well. For a free game that is a fan game, this thing is more fully featured than some actual retail games launched today as. And every single course is fun, unique, different, and you get a whole roster of characters to choose from with different kart styles, different acceleration and handling curves. Basically, you can find who works for you and go with it. But the first thing that caught my eye, pun very much intended, is the art style. This just looks absolutely stunning. All of the pixelated textures, all of the little bit of warping on the polygons, it just has that PlayStation 1 vibe in a more modern lens. And you can get this thing running at 60 Hz, no problem whatsoever, so you're getting a spectacular frame rate along with those PlayStation 1 style graphics. And I will say the AI in this game is absolutely ruthless. They are going to bump you into oblivion. So learning the drifts, learning the courses, and getting better at it is going to take some practice, but it's going to be so worth doing that. These are the type of games I love, things that come out of left field, basically unannounced, and suddenly you play them and you think to yourself, this might be better than what a lot of AAA devs are releasing today. I'm not saying it's as impressive visually or anything like that, I'm just saying from a pure fun factor, this thing is absolutely stacked with stuff to do and see. The racing physics and mechanics are 100% on point. This is just such a fun experience, and again, it costs absolutely nothing, so it's not like you even need to invest any money into it, just your time and appreciation from the developers. But as we go through different courses here, every single course has its own unique layout, its own unique graphical stylings, different mechanics, and you'll see there each spark in the world is going to be a different power-up. Some of them are going to be offensive, some of them are going to be defensive, and you need to learn how to use each and every one if you want to see first place. You're going to get different mines and traps, you're going to get shotguns and pistols, you're going to get different rockets. It's going to be such a fully featured retinue of actual power-ups. You're going to love this, and I will say this sort of level with all of the different boost pads and jumps is one of my favorite in the game. But I just love the atmosphere as well. This definitely feels like Bloodborne, but to me at least, if you remember Nightmare Creatures, it has some of those vibes in here as well. I obviously know the inspiration is Bloodborne, but you can definitely see some other games within Nightmare Kart, and even the title, I absolutely love that as well. And that's the fun thing, being able to discover these new games. I've played an absolute metric crap ton of games in a year, both for the channel and just for fun, and I would say for the first half of 2024, Nightmare Karts is near the top of my list for just straight up fun. This is such a joy to play, and the best part is, and you know I always love my soundtracks in games, the music in this game is top notch, 10 out of 10, feels like it was developed by an actual development team with a huge budget behind it, not as a fan game. So go ahead and listen for 45 seconds and I'll be back with more courses to tell you why this game is great. That is just top tier music, and honestly, that little kind of distorted Mario Kart finish sound effect there just made me laugh the first time I heard it because it is so not belonging to this game, but at the same time it sounds so familiar. It's just a little tongue-in-cheek humor. Now I'm going to take you through one race from start to finish because this is basically a hot lap circuit here. It takes like 15 seconds to get through a lap, and you can just see how hectic this game can be, but it's hectic in a good way. If you get first place, it's because you raced well. If you don't get first place, it's because you made a mistake somewhere along the way. Drifting in this game, like pretty much any kart racer, is going to be super important. You need to start and stop that drift to control it the entire way through, or else you're going to bump the wall. And you'll see there at the top left corner of the screen, I have so many ether vials. If you drift, you're going to collect more, and if you have 5 or any increment of 5, you can use a boost. You want to use those in the straights to keep your speed up. It's going to be a crucial component of the game, so learn how to drift early, and take advantage of that so you can both get the boost from drifting as well as stock up your vials. And you'll see there was actually lapping an opponent, and they totally just drove straight at me. If there's one area in this game that I could say could be slightly improved and it still is in active development, is the AI is either ruthlessly difficult or somehow you get in first place off the first lap and never actually lose that first place finish like you saw there. But otherwise, that's really the only area in which I'd love to see some changes. And I'm sure the AI could be changed around pretty quickly, but as far as the campaign mode is concerned, you get a full story in here, and it is quite charming and unique. And I love the overall aesthetic of all of the characters and how they are those low poly models. It just works within context of Nightmare Karts being that PlayStation 1 style throwback. It is a generation of graphics I grew up on and loved, and if you love them too, you're probably going to find something charming here. And you also get a decent selection of tracks. It's not the most tracks in any sort of game, but honestly it's there, it's enough, and it's going to keep you occupied. I'm sure there could be some more tracks added, and I love all of the different characters you can pick from, and there are some variants of those characters. If you press down, you can select other people as well. But again, for me, really, it's just the visual aesthetic married to the awesome gameplay. I did not think that I needed a kart racer in the universe of Bloodborne, but now that I've played it, I would say that this is one of the best racing games I've checked out in a while. It just has absolutely everything you want out of the genre. Great power-ups, good drifting mechanics, a fun physics engine, plenty of different racers to choose from with different handling and acceleration characteristics, and awesome course layout. There's a course in here for absolutely everyone. They're well and intelligently designed, and again, all of the obstacles and the ruthlessness of the AI in some spots just works. This game feels hectic and chaotic in all of the good ways and none of the bad ways. You can every once in a while get stuck and hung up on some geometry, but that's pretty much every racing game. You do need to learn how to avoid things and pick a clean racing line, and I love that you can just take that boost pad and go straight through that skeleton, completely obliterating him with your vehicle. And you'll see here I now have a shotgun as well. My favorite part about the firearms in the game is you can actually hold down the trigger, aim, and then release it when you'd like to fire, so you can actually kind of prep your shot so you can get close to another racer and take them out. And that is going to be very important when you're playing on the hard AI difficulty. You do need to use those offensive weapons to basically knock them back if you want to see the checkered flag. And the lighting in this game, the background skybox has that pixelation on it. Everything just mixes together to create such a universe and environment. And that's what I really do appreciate about this game the most. Its style and presentation. We are going down this course in a wheelchair with a scythe in our hand, and you just 100% believe this is something that's really occurring somewhere. That's the fun part about these fan games. They take something and just completely flip it on its head and give you something brand new out of it, and that is always to be celebrated. And especially the fact that this game costs absolutely nothing. Again, you can pop over to Steam and download this right now for the cost of 0. One more taste of the soundtrack though, because again, it's one of the best components of the game, and I'll be right back with some more racing. I love how cheery and joyful that track is, and sure, it doesn't make super contextual sense in the world of Bloodborne as a kart racer, but it makes perfect sense to drive the action forward. And I like that the maker here didn't just go for a pure horror aesthetic when it comes to the soundtrack. They did put in some of those cheerier, brighter notes as well in some of the music. But Nightmare Kart is just a fun time. That's what it really comes down to. If you play this game, if you download it, I can guarantee you're going to find fun to be had. And I just love celebrating games like this. The games that you didn't see coming, the games that you would never expect to happen, but somebody out there had an idea that a kart racing game like Mario Kart or Crash Team Racing would work in the Bloodborne universe. They sat down, they spent the hundreds of hours to make it, and now that I'm playing it, I can say that was absolutely worth it. Nightmare Kart is a special game. It doesn't need to exist, but the sheer fact that it does exist and it's this good is just something that we should absolutely celebrate. This came out of left field, I didn't see it coming, and now I'm definitely going to be continually playing this, working my way through the campaign mode, and just trying to get better at the game and enjoying it more, because this genuinely feels like something that's a lost PlayStation 1 game, and had this game came out back in the day, I think magazines would have given it straight 9.5 to 10 out of 10s. But leave me a comment down below, have you heard of this game? And if not, are you planning on playing it after this video? Because trust me, you have nothing to lose, it's free, and you're going to have a ton of fun. See you next time. Bye bye.